Hi, Patrick here. Have Cheetah Will View, and it is a cold, chilly southeastern Michigan night here. We have 50-mile-an-hour winds, and we got a little bit of a dusting of snow. It is cold, cold, cold. So that put us into a mood to watch something mellow, mellow, mellow. And so me and the Cheetah, we decided to watch and talk about a movie from 2010 called Sundays at Tiffany's. Sundays at Tiffany's. It's interesting that I'm bringing up this movie right here, considering this came out in, like I said, 2010. Um, and there's a brand new movie that Ryan Reynolds is doing. I think it's called IF, and it stands for Imaginary Friends. And this is what this story is about, too. And of course, anybody who knows me at all knows I'm very much a massive fan of Foster's Home of Imaginary Friends. Back in Blue were definitely that was definitely me and Derek Jeter, um, um, for sure. And it was such a cute show. I ended up getting the first season. My wife got me the first season of Foster's for for Christmas. So how about that? So Sundays at Tiffany's, like I said, it's a fantasy movie, and it stars Melissa Milano. Alyssa Milano plays Jane, and it stars Eric Winter plays Michael. Michael, her imaginary friend. It has Ivan Sergi from Thieves Like Us, and a ton of other great action movies as Hugh Morrison. And what really caught me to buy this movie was because it also starred the lovely Kristen Booth, who played Jacqueline. Big Kristen Booth fan here. That's right. That's right. So basically, what the story is that Jane and the story opens up, and we see Jane and her imaginary friend Michael, and they're they're hanging out with the mom, and they're at Tiffany's, and they've been, it's imaginary friends, so only Jane can see him, and so they're talking and carrying on, and it turns out that it's Jane's 10th birthday, and so when you turn 10, your imaginary friend has to leave. He gets to leave. They have to leave. So, of course, here it is on her birthday, and then she loses her friend, and he basically says, we gotta go to where we met, and then I gotta go on and help somebody else, and so her imaginary friend leaves. Then we flash forward to 20 years, and we see that Jane is working for her mom and running the family theater, and she's going to be marrying a big star on the rise named Hugh Morrison. And things seem to be going pretty well for Jane. And then out of the blue, all of a sudden Michael pops up, and he's also 20 years older. He's not a kid; he's 30 years old. And at first, Jane doesn't know how to handle it. Like this is really weird. I don't believe you. This is sort of creepy. I don't remember anything what you're mentioning. But as Michael persists, he persists, and sure enough, Jane decides, she finally believes that it is Michael. It's her imaginary friend from back when they were kids, and he doesn't know why he came back, other than that Jane needs him. That's the thing. But he only has a certain amount of days to help her before he has to go yet again. And so they go ahead and they start talking to each other, and they discover how many shared common interests they have, and he remembers certain things about her that she had forgotten. She's totally lost in how to prepare for her wedding. She doesn't know what to pick for a caterer or for food, or like as far as the cake goes, or any of the decorations or her dress, and and Michael does. He remembers all those things that she used to talk about. Now Hugh meets Michael, and and he's very kind to him, actually. A lot really kind, considering. But we find out that while Hugh's not a bad guy, he's not a bad guy, but he's definitely self-centered, and he really sees the wedding more as a publicity than he does as in being in love with Jane. Jane loves him, or so she thinks, but he loves himself. And and when Michael calls him out on it, says, "Well, what do you love about Jane? What are some of the things you love about her?" And Hugh, he really can't say anything. He really, and when Jane asks him that, he can't really say anything. So Michael and Jane, after a successful day of getting her dress, they share a kiss, and of course that's like that flips Jane out crazy, and says that can't ever happen again. Uh, so, and she goes to her friend Jacqueline, who happens to be a psychiatrist, and her friend's sitting there going like, you're not crazy, and she sees Michael, and she says, he looks at you with the way that Hugh doesn't. He looks at you as being in love, whereas Hugh doesn't. He only sees himself. So Jacqueline tries to help Jane, realize that, hey, maybe this is the person. You're not supposed to be with this other person. You're supposed to be with this person. But how does she tell her friend that Michael is a figment of her imagination? While everybody can see Michael and interact with him, he really is just an imaginary friend, grown up, but still an imaginary friend. So uh, uh, things hit a little bit. There's some bumps ahead, and including the night where Jane and Michael end up sharing the bed, and that causes that causes a lot of inner strife. And then when Michael tells Jane that his time is up and he has to go, um, that really is well, she's gonna have to come to grips with that, um, or will she? Some thoughts about this film. Um, Alyssa Milano, Kristen Booth. This movie was directed by uh, Mark Pinzowski. It was written by James Patterson, the novelist. Uh, yeah, even back then in 2010, he was writing like a storm, right? This is a very fun movie. This is a made-for-TV movie. It aired on Showtime in 2000, not Showtime, but aired on Lifetime on 2010, and it's a really nice showcase for Alyssa Milano, who has a really easy, sweet charm about her acting. Um, she's very attractive. She's very gentle. She's very kind, and it comes across the screen, clear and perfect. Kristen Booth, of course, stars as Jacqueline, her friend, and she's sassy, as Kristen Booth is. Um, and I really liked this movie. I thought it was all right. For what it was, imaginary friend, it's a fantasy movie. Um, it's not going to set any, it's not breaking any new ground in the genre or whatnot. It's just some really nice people doing a really nice job in bringing a story to the screen. Um, I, I was glad to find it, to tell you the truth. Um, and I definitely would recommend it too. This is a movie you can watch with your significant other. I know this is from Blockbuster. I found this copy here came from Blockbuster, as you could tell by the price right there. I got this from the library for a quarter, um, but I would definitely recommend it. And yeah, um, no special features since it is a made-for-TV movie. It runs about 87 minutes long. This is a rated G movie. I think they used the word bastard once in it, but that's it. Stalker Channing also is in it, who plays Alyssa Milano's mother. She's really cute and charming in here too. Hard to believe that she's old enough to play Alyssa Milano's mother, but Stalker Channing she's really fun to watch. All right, so that is Sundays at Tiffany's. Um, good movie. Highly recommend it. If you get a chance to get it, do so. And you can get this over on secondary markets, eBay, Amazon, your local library. All right, thanks for much for watching. And if you're new to the channel, please consider hitting the subscription button. I'll drop a comment down below, and we'll talk to you soon.